Am I audible? Please respond in chat. Thank you so much. Cool. Okay. Let me open where we have stopped 2 days back. I guess we started with the NG for different examples. And also I have shared you how we can fetch the data by using fetch. So different examples that we have learned, right? Let me open even that examples as well. Go to the D drive. We have full stack Angular example. And here we have seen a couple of examples. Right. I'll run this application. So ngs -o --- project is equal to directives demo. When I click on here, right, perfect. I hope on the day I have explained you like how we can display in different ways, where we can display the data with the help of cards and where we have displayed the data with the help of the table. And I asked you to provide a toggle button. And when user click on that button, you have to display the data. That is what the assignment I have given. How many of you guys have done that? How many of you guys have completed it? Very good. Nice. As I told you, very beginning of the session, I'm not verifying anyone. Don't need to worry, because it's your career. If you can do a practice properly, then you will get the best. If you are not doing it properly, then there is no use of joining the sessions as well. That is where I told you, it's purely your career, your life, and your future. That is it. Okay. Those who are done, I really appreciate. Who are not yet completed, please take some time and take assignments as a challenging thing and try to complete it. Okay. Anyhow, I have uploaded this how we can work with that. Now in today's session, we will understand how we can work with a new concept when it comes to that ngFor. Still ngFor is not yet done. We have seen ngIf and if then else and ngSwitch. And when it comes to an ngFor, normal examples I have shown you, and how we can fetch the data from that API and how we can make use of them also, that I have shown you. Now it's time for learning how we are going to work with the ngFor properties. So generally, what is the purpose of an ngFor? Tell me. ngFor is used to tell me, generate the HTML dynamically based on the collection items. Am I right? Tell me. The ngFor is mainly used to generate the HTML dynamically based on the collection of items that are available. That is the main purpose of what ngFor that is going to be used. Now, when it comes to an ngFor, we have seen a syntax, something like you can take for any element. So the syntax also I have explained, and examples also we have seen. That's a different story. And we are using, let's say, an ngFor is equal to, you can write let item of collection. So that means if my collection is having, let's say, 10 elements, then 10 times the loop is getting iterated. If I'm having, let's say, 20, then 20 times this div tag is going to be dynamically generated. So that is how the ngFor will work. Now, for this particular ngFor, Angular provides a different property, and those properties are mainly used to get exactly, might be like, which index it is, or what would be the first one and what is the last one. What is, is that row is going to be that even row, or is that row is going to be an odd row? Understand? So like that, in order to get that kind of content, Angular provides different properties. So the properties are something like this. So we have like, the different property, and each property is having some data type, and then I'll be providing some description also. So here, the first property is going to be index is the first property. Now, what is the type of that? The type is going to be, it is a number that what I can give. Now, what it will do? It returns the index of the repeating element, I can say. That means if I'm having, let's say, different element, and from there, which element you are iterating. Suppose, let's say, I'm iterating the first element, so that it start with the index as going to be 0. If I'll be iterating the second element, that means if it is second element, it will get that related index. If I'm getting, let's say, third item, it will get the third item index. Like that, ngFor what it will do is, it will get the index of a repeating element, whatever that index. And at the same time, I have, let's say, first. That means it is of type, let's say, Boolean. What it will do? It is true when we are, okay, when or else like it returns true, or else like it is true if the repeating element is a first element. If the repeating element is going to be the first element, then first will return true. And at the same time, we have last is available. If it is true, the repeating element is going to be the last one. And at the same time, we have even is one property that we are having. So it is true. That means if the repeating element is going to be an even element, is an even element. At the same time, we have the last one that is going to be odd is available. This is also going to be a Boolean. It returns true. Okay, it returns true if the repeating element is going to be an odd element. So these are the properties that are available. Now, how we are going to make use of them in our real time? How do we use them in the real time? That I'll try to explain you. And there is another one which is very interesting and very much useful one, that is going to be tracked by, and generally tracked by is a function, and which is associated for this one only. Now, what happened? It tracks the changes for the collection and iterate only those changes. That means, suppose, let's say, from the database, generally speaking, I'm getting already 10 records. Maybe later, more 20 records are added to the database. Do I need to update all the 30 records? Tell me. If you can do that one, every time it is going to be regenerate all the data. But I don't want to do that one. I don't want to do that. First, already 10 elements are iterated and those are displayed on the screen. Then later I'm getting, let's say 20 items are available. Then why should I iterate already the existing item? So that is the reason it tracks the changes for the collection and iterate only those changes. Okay, only those changes. That means whatever the change is available, it iterates only that particular changes. At that particular time, we go with the track by function. And this is very important in the real time to identify the changes in the collection, and based on that, only the updated elements are going to be repeated. Updated elements are going to be repeated until unless like track by is not required for us. Now, how to work with this one? Let me show you with some example, and with that only the ngFor will complete. Okay, that is where I told you when I give something like directives, you see from couple of days we are discussing directive only. Completely we are working with the directive only. That much internal subject is there in the real time. It is not something like keeping some heading and explaining that and closing. Okay, now let me show you with an example like how we can make use of it. So to do that one, what I just want to do is I'm going to generate a component here. Okay, a component here. Let's say what I'll be doing here, I'll go to my app and open it in the integrated terminal, and let me use the command here. And here what I can do, I'll be writing something like ng, G for generate, and then C for the component, and the name of the component is going to be, maybe you can give any component, that's up to you. Let's say I'll give for property. Okay, for properties is that example, and a hyphen skip hyphen test, that's what I can give. Now I'm executing it. Now you can see we have a component, and this is the for properties that are available. I have the HTML file and I have the TS file, and following with I have CSS file as well. Clear? Now let me give a small properties. I mean, a few classes I'm creating here, CSS classes. Suppose if it is going to be odd, now I just wanted to give a background color as going to be RGB. Now you can use some colors. Red is 250 and green is 193, and this is also something like that. This is how it is. And at the same time, I'll be writing some event. This is a class. And for this one also, I'll be writing some background color where I can use same the RGB, and where I can use some random numbers I can give. Okay. This is how it is. Okay. I have some CSS properties that are listed here. Now, I don't want to prepare the data here, guys. I'll be getting the data directly from the API. That means the real world API, as we have already learned how we can fetch the data with the help of fetch API. I'm going to use something like fake store API. And here we have the list of products that are available here. Now I'm using the same API in order to fetch the data, and I will show you how we can apply all these properties. Okay, I'm going to apply all these properties. That is what I'm trying to. So how we can make use of it, tell me. So the first thing is going to be, we want to get the data. And another interesting thing here is, I mean, right now, whatever I'm explaining, this is generally we follow it in the real time. Okay, generally we follow this approach in real time. So how we can make use of it in real time, I will show you. Now you see let's say this is a simple object that what I am having, right? It's a simple object that what I am having here. Now, if you wanted to convert that into the TypeScript class, let's say JSON to TypeScript converter. I don't think so. This might work. Now, when I'm giving like this, and you can see we have a run. ID title. Okay. This one is not working. Right. What happened to my system? Okay. Now here, what I just want to give is, you see, if you can observe that this is how the data is going to be. This is a JSON data that we are having. Maybe I can give here the name as going to be product. You can see that. I'll be giving the name as going to be, let's say, product or products, whatever. And I'm giving the JSON. And here, like, they asked me to give the key as going to be double quotation, so that I can give a double quotation here, and I can give the double quotation here also, and then description, and then category, and then image. And after that, we have the rating. After that, we have the rate. After that, we have the count. Now you can see how it is going to be. Okay, see that? So that means this is what we call it as a contract class. In real time, we are mostly using these contract classes in order to build the applications. 90% of that means, let's say they are sharing some data to you. Once they share the data to you, then what type of data we are getting, that is very important for us, right? Yes or no? That is very important for us. So for that reason only, what I asked you to do is, whenever if you people are going to work, whenever if you are going to work on what type of data we are getting, first you have to create the data. Understand? First you have to create that particular data. That is always a good programming practice. That is where now you can see this is my contract class. This is my contract that what I am having. Now I'm going to prepare this contract class here. Somewhere in my app, I'll create a new folder, and this is going to be fake store contract .ts I can say, and I'm going to, sorry, I copy that one, whatever I have created. Now this is the one that what I have created. Let me copy that, and then I'm going to paste it here. That's it. Did you understand what I have done? Yes or no? Tell me. First, what I am doing, what type of data I'm getting. I have a clarity. This is how, like, I'm getting the data. So related to that, exactly what you can do, you can create the TypeScript class. Not even that, like any data, whatever like it might be, first create the TypeScript class. I shared you the link also. Even in real time also, we are getting something like in this way. Okay. And even suppose, let's say, Shrikant, I don't want to give here. Maybe can I write something like this? Yes, you can do that one. Okay. Yes, you can do that. You can copy that and maybe you can paste it here also. If that is the case, no need to maintain even this. Did you understand what I'm doing? I created what? ID, title, price, description, and a category and an image, and we have the rating, and rating will contain two properties. How I created? Just, I mean, this data you will be getting directly from the API. Based upon this data, use any of the online tool and generate this one. This is a good programming practice. Now, what I just want to do, I wanted to get the data and bind the data as well. So how we can do that one? Simply, let me go to the TypeScript file. Now what I want to do, I'll go to here. And here, I'll use a simple variable public. Okay, let me write something like products is of what type? I'm going to have fake store. Okay, contract is available. Fake store contract is available. Now you can see I'm going to import it first of all. So how I can do that? Here it is exported, right? Now what I can do, I'm going here, import. Okay, what you wanted to import? I'll be importing the products from here. So that what I can do, I just wanted to create it as going to be fake store products and I'm initializing with some empty array. That's it. You can see that. I'm just writing. Oh, sorry. It's a products array. I'm sorry. Now you can see it's a products array because here you may have like, one product details here, or you can have 10 products detail, or you can have 100 product detail. It doesn't matter. First, what I am doing, what type of data I'm getting, I'm creating a variable and exactly I'm giving the specific type. Now, what type here it is going to be? That's depend on the data that I am getting it from that API. Is this clear? I mean, in real time, slowly, that is what I told you. We are working on real time. It is very important to know how to create a contract class. So is this step is clear? Tell me. And at the same time, what I can do, generally the TypeScript class is having the constructor. So far, we haven't used any constructor, but from now onwards, I will use it. I mean, right now I'm not writing anything, but I just wanted to maintain a constructor over here. And there is another one that what we are having, that is ng on init is available. Ng on init is available. Now what this ng on init will do is it will execute when the component is called. Component is called. It is something like, just a minute, please. Right. Now you can see ng on init is there. It's a predefined method and generally we call it as life cycle hook. Life cycle hook, that what I can say. It is a life cycle hook. What it will do, whenever the component is going to be loaded, then automatically this method will be called. So here I'm going to get the data. So how I can do that? I'm using the fetch and here I need to provide like, that URL. and the URL is here where I'm having all the product information. And let me come back here, and this is how it is going to be. And after that, I'm going to use then whatever the response I'm getting, I'm going to convert that particular response into a JSON format. That means we don't know that like what type of response we are getting. So that first I'll convert that response into JSON, and then I'm going to bind the data. So how I can bind the data, whatever the products that we are getting, I'm going to get that particular product and giving it over there. That's it. You see, this is how it is going to be. Nothing, just remove that empty space. That's it. Did you understand? Same thing yesterday, I guess like 2 days back, whatever we have done, that is same thing that what I have given here. Even earlier, it was what NASA related that what I have used, but now it's a different fake store API. Okay. In fake store API, I'm doing the same thing. I'm using the fetch. I'm going to fetch the data from this URL, and then whatever the response I'm getting, I'm converting into the JSON, because JSON data only the front end will accept. Understand? Only JSON data the front end will accept. Any other data it won't. It won't be attached. So that is the reason where I use that one, and whatever the data I'm getting, I'm binding the data to the product. So understood now? Tell me. Understood now? This is one quick question in contract class. Why used as an interface? You can use class also. Shiva Srinivas Rao. You can use class also here, not an issue. But generally here we never provide any implementation, right? It just like, what I can say, it's just a dummy one. So we are not giving yes for that abstraction purpose. Technically speaking, for abstraction purpose only, I use that. Understood? I will show you, Sudhamani. Now you come to now, yeah, just for declaration purpose, nothing apart from that. Okay, now you can see the same data I want to display it here. So how I can display it over there? Let me take a div where my class is the container, and here I'll be using div, and I'm giving some margin, and then I'll take a table, and table will contain the class as table and table hyphen. Over that what I can give. Okay, and here let me use the table head, and after that let's give the first one is going to be the preview that what I can say, and the second one is going to be I want to display that index, and the third one is going to be I just wanted to show you whether it is a first element or last element, and at the same time first, last, and then we have even, and then let me give odd. I want to display those property values. How we can display that I will show you. So to do that one, what I can do, I am using tbody, and here I'll take another tr here, and this tr, okay, this tr, what I just want to do is will get all the data. So how I can get it? Simply ng for is equal to let item of, now where the data is available, it is available under the products. First I'll display the data so that you will understand. Okay, first I'll display. Now if I'm creating an interface, what is that advantage people are asking me? Now you can see I'll be using a td, and here you can see item dot. Earlier, are we getting any kind of intelligence like this? Tell me. Are we getting any kind of intelligence? Tell me. See, if it is like 3 to 4 property, then I can remember. But in real time, if I am getting, let's say 100 property, is it possible to remember those properties exactly? Tell me everyone. Obviously, no. Then if I'm preparing a contract class, then I'm able to get like each and every property in the IntelliSense format, right? Yes or no? You can see I wanted to get the rating. rating dot. Again, you can see count and rate. So this is the main advantage that we are having. Understand? That is where I suggest you in practical. Here it is not okay. If you're not following, also not okay. Because if you can see in NASA data, you can observe that am I created anything? I'm just created any type. I'm just created any type. But at the time of displaying, I have to remember, like, all the things, camera dot, full name, each and everything I have to remember. If I forget something, if I, let's say, missed something here, then I'm unable to get the data as well. That is the reason where always maintaining contract classes will make the developer lives easy. No need to remember. For one time, if I create a contract class, I can use it for any number of times, right? Understood? So that is the reason where I asked you to start implementing the contract classes. But do I need to create it? No, we have a lot of online tools where you can directly copy the JSON and paste it over there. Then automatically it will give you a contract class to you. Understood now? Hello, hello, hello. Right. Now we will see each and every property, how we can use it. Now let's say, now you can see, I told you like few property. One is going to be an index, another one is the first, and the next one is going to be last, and even and odd. I wanted to get these values. So how we can do that? Simply what you can do is you can specify a comma, semicolon, and create some variable. Let's say first one is index. First one is index. So that to get that index, create a variable and use the property. That's it. This is the one. Understand? I wanted to get whether that item is going to be an even item or not. So that E is equal to even. Srikanth, what is index? What is even? These are the properties of what ngFor. Now, what index will do? It will get each and every time one index value. Understand? And suppose, let's say, what even will do? If it is an even number of record, then it will give what? Then it will give what? Tell me. Then it will give what? True or false. In the same way, I wanted to get, let's say, O is equal to, I am giving odd. And at the same time, let's say, first F is equal to, I'll be writing first. Let L is equal to, I'll be giving last, that what I can say. That's it. Understand? Sir, for e-commerce product, JSON properties also dynamically appended in that. Yeah, it may not work, Nageshwar. If that is the case, it may not work. But generally, JSON properties will never dynamically appended. We will be getting directly from that API. Based upon that, we can. I will show you an examples also related to that. Okay, don't worry. So line wise, it will select even and odd. Yes. Yes, now I will show you the data. Don't worry, just a minute. Give me a minute. I will show you like how it works. So this is how I prepared now. Now I want to display like what would be the value. Before that, first I'll be showing you a preview here. So that what I can do, let me have a TD. And here I'm using an image. SRC is equal to, how I can get it? Item dot, you can see we have a property that is image property is available. That's it. And I'll be writing some height as going to be some around 100 pixel and width as going to be some around 100 pixel, just like, for display. And second one, I want to display the index. So how to get that index? Already we got that index into this variable. I is the variable, right? Now I'm going to print that variable. I can say. At the same time, the next one, what we want to display, whether the element is the first element or not. So that information I'm having it in F variable so that I can give F. And at the same time, I wanted to get the item is the last element or not. So that you can see, I'll be writing something like L. Suppose, let's say, I wanted to verify that is an even number so that I can give E. and I wanted to verify that is an odd number so that I can go with O. That's it. Now save this application and run it. Now, Shrikant, what is that advantage with these properties? Generally, let's say whenever if you are performing update, delete, such kind of operations, just let's say CRUD operations in single grid, I can say. Whenever if you can do something like this, I will show you. Let's open that image. The output is going to be here. Now you can see, just assume that this is a grid where you can maintain the name and city. Suppose here you can see we have an edit button and delete button. When user click on this edit button, then I want to delete only, I wanted to edit only this particular record, or less all the records are getting edited. Tell me. Suppose if user has clicked on this particular delete, then it has to delete only the particular one, not all. Then how do I identify? For that reason, index would be helpful. Understood? For that reason, index would be very much helpful. And not even that, suppose I have a requirement for all the even number of records, I wanted to apply a different class. Okay, maybe let's say even and odd. Let's say Naresh IT dot in some website. Okay, Naresh IT. If I open that website, now you can see in the course schedule, you can see we have a table, and you can see even number of table is having different color, odd number table we have different colors, right? See there. Did you observe that? Tell me. Yes or no? Even number of records are having white color, and the odd number of records are having some sort of gray color. I wanted to apply something like that. So these are the requirement where we can use ng for. How it will be, I will show you in this example only. Just wait a minute. First, what I can do, I'm going to execute this particular one so that I'll copy this and then go to the index.html, and in the index.html, instead of using that, let me give this one, and also I'll go to my app module.ts file, and in that app module.ts file, I'll make this as going to be my startup and save this application. Now still you can see the application is running, and I'm able to see the data here. Now you can see index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 19 is added. And this is a first element or not? Tell me. Yes or no? Hello? Right? So that is where it is giving me true. That is a last element? No. That is where it is giving me false. This is an even element? Yes. 0 means it's an even. So it is returning true. It is an odd element? No. False. Now you can see the index is 1, and it is what? False. All time it is false. Now you can see here also all time it is false. The last it will return true to get the last item. And at the same time, suppose let's say I want to see even true, and here also true, and true, false like this. And here also you can see yes, even and not based on that index. Based on index only it will solve. Suppose I wanted to apply some classes, CSS class. I have created, like you see, 2 classes I have created. If you can remember, I have written 2 property, odd and even. Suppose I wanted to apply that, then how I can do that? This part I'll explain you later. Just like, for understanding purpose, I'm adding class dot even is equal to, I'll be giving E, and at the same time, class dot odd is equal to, I'll be giving O. Now you can see, I'll explain you this part later. Don't worry. We have a separate session for this, class binding and style binding. Now you can save it and then come back here. Now you see, am I getting even different color or different color or not? Tell me. Did you understand? If you are not giving index, index will not be printed. That's it. Nothing will happen. Suppose let's say somebody is asking me, Srikanth, if you are not giving an index here, okay, if I am not giving an index here, then how it would be? Nothing will happen. You can see just it is an empty one then. Let me save it, and then you can see, even though if you are not giving an index, this first, last, even and odd will work based on that index only. Okay, it works based on what? Index only. Even though if you are not giving, it works based on index only. So this is how, like, the properties are going to be. Clear now? We have, like, based on the requirement we will be using. Suppose somebody asks you for the first record, you can give some different color. And for the last, you can display end of the item. Something like that. Those kind of requirements, if you can have, there we can use it. So this is how it is going to be. Clear? Right. Thank you. Now we have the last one when it comes to that ngFor, that is track by is available. Okay, track by is available. Okay, so Purna, are you getting an output? It's okay. Are you getting an output in program? That is important to me, right? If you are not getting it in Google means just install this one. Just a minute. JSON viewer extension for Chrome. Sweta, you can contact. You can contact Naresh IT admin. Might be they will help you. Okay. So add this extension, guys, so that you will be getting the data. I mean, I shared you, Purna. I shared you through the chat box. Add this extension so that like it will be displayed. See, I have added an extension. JSON viewer is that extension I used here. You see that. Maybe in your case also, you can go with any of that extension so that it will be displayed as it is. Okay, right. Now the next one here, what I want to do is I'll go with what? Track by. This is also very interesting subject. Okay, this is also going to be very interesting subject. Anyhow, I'm sharing you the programs, right? There you can get, but anyhow, I will share you. It's not a matter. In that example also, you will be finding it now. Sanjay. Okay. Now you see, we have what? This one, what it is. The next one is the track by, and the last one with respect to the ngFor. Now what it will do? Suppose let's say I have an API where, like, from my API, I'm getting already couple of items. Let's say employee ID. Okay. I'm displaying a table, something like this, employee name, and then salary. 3 items that what I'm getting, and 101. And then let's say Srikanth is the one. And at the same time, I have the salary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the salary. Let's say at the time of reading this data 102, and then I'll give some other name, and here, yes, okay, let's have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what I want to do, suppose let's say I have a button that is something like get data is the button. When user click on this get data, I'll connect with my DB or whatever. I'll connect with my database or whatever and get the data. or else let's say get the updated data, I can say. Okay, that means whatever the new records are additionally added, I'm going to get that particular data only. That is my requirement. If that is the case, generally what happen, in practical environment, it will load all the data once, and then it will load the additional data also. Okay, I'm writing something like this, and where I can give like this. That's it. So that means already this HTML or this table is available on the UI, right? The only update is what this record is only updated. Then, but you see what happened internally, automatically by default nature is what it will get updated everything, even though it is available or not available, it doesn't matter. What it will do, it will update everything. That is the real-time problem. How to solve that? By using track. I will show you like how we can make use of it so that it will be very easy for you. Let me close all. Okay, this is very important in the real time, guys. If I say something which is important in the real time, we are using it for like, the performance point of view. Okay, performance point of view. Now, what I just want to do, I'll be right click on here and open the integrated terminal. Let me go to here and I generate a new component, ngg C for the component, and I just wanted to generate a component that is going to be track. For track, I can say. And then hyphen skip hyphen test, that what I can give. That's it. Sweta will see later. Okay. Now you can see for track is available. Give me a minute. Right. Now, what I just want to do is first I'll prepare like, some data here, public employees, and the type is going to be an any, same example. Nothing is there. Any, what I just want to do, I'll have an employee ID 101, an employee name. Maybe I can write Shrikant, and after that salary is going to be, let's say, $12,000. So give a comma and second one, third one. Okay, 3 records are there right now at this moment, 3 records. Now what I just want to do is, whatever, I'll tell you later, don't worry, how we can make use of 103, and I'll write few names over here. Okay, and then let's give some salary also. Okay, that's it. So generally, I hope you people might know how do we display. Yeah, sure. How do we display this data? I hope you might already aware of it. I need not to explain. Generally, like what we can do, I'll give a div where my div is having a class that is container. And here I'll take another div and I'm giving the margin top as going to be 4. And also I'll take another div, like margin bottom is going to be some 2 or 3. Okay, so here I just wanted to prepare some button here. Maybe let's say get updated data is the button that what I'm having. And maybe if you wanted to give some classes for this one, you can btn hyphen primary. So this is how I have given. And after that, let me have a simple table where I can display the data. Let's have a table, and for the table also we'll be giving table and table hyphen over, I can say. And we have the T head. We have the TH employee ID. Quickly, because I hope you know this, that is where I'm going a bit faster. Employee name, and after that we have the salary. After that we have T body, and I'm sorry here. Let me write everything inside the here. Okay. Perfect. I have a T body where it comes with TR, where it comes with the TD. I can get the data. So here what I can do, I'll be using ng for is equal to let item in, sorry, let item of where it is available, EMPS. EMPS, that what I can say. Employees, that what I can say. Now here I'm using item dot. You see, we are not getting that intelligence. Earlier, I created a contract class or contract interface so that I got that intelligence. But now it is not even showing me. Anyhow, I'll be giving employee ID, and after that employee name, let's say EMP name, and then the third one is going to be the salary. And save it, and then maybe you can run it. Let's copy. Index.html. Save it. Go to the module for track component. Save it. And now you can see the output is something like this. This is how it is. It's nothing but, yeah, service class only. But services are different. You may call it as service. Now what I want to do, when user is updating something here, click on that. I wanted to get that updated data. That is what my requirement. That means what I can do, when user click on this button, okay, when user click on this button, get updated data is the function that what I'm going to call. Now what I just want to do, I'll create that function here. Okay, I'll create that function here. And what this function will do, you know, it will get all the data. Let's say this dot EMPS is equal to, it will get all the data, and also additionally what I just want to do is I'm going to add a new record. That means 3 records are existing records only, right? Yes or no? 3 records are what? Existing records only. Okay, some name I can give, and where I can say 91,000. Okay, whatever. So this is how I have given. Now it is having what, like old data is same, but the only update is what, this one. So because of that reason, what happened, you know, you can see, I'll just come to my application here. When user click on here, I'm able to get 91,000, sorry, 104 record. Now you can see what happened. I'll right click and go to that inspect, observe that how that table is going to be updated. You can see, I'll go to here, go to the div. In that we have another div. In that we have the table. Table will contain T head and T body. Now, right now, how many TRs we are having? You can see that 1, 2, 3, right? Observe that 3 TRs are available or not? Tell me, right? Okay, everyone observe that. This is like, you know, practically only you can understand. Otherwise, you can't find the difference. You can see that 3 TRs are available here, right? Everyone, guys. Okay. Now, when user click on get updated data, it is updating the total T body, right? Yes or no? You can see. Again, I'm showing you. I'll open my div. I'll open my table. In the T body, we have 3 right now at this moment. Okay. Only when user click on get updated data, one record I wanted to update. But you see, it will modify all the T body. That means it regenerate the complete body here. You can see that when user click on get updated, you can see it is regenerated everything or not. Tell me. Tell me. But how many changes are there? Only one record is changed. Only one record is changed. Then why should I update everything? Why should I update everything? If that is your requirement, there you can use what? There you can use what? NG. Very good. Track. Sorry. There we can use track by. How we can make use of it? As I told you, track by is a function. Track by I can use track by, and here you can use any name for the function. Maybe let's say track changes. Okay, you can, I guess no need to give, just you can use track changes. You can use any name here in place of this, but this is very important. Now what I can do, I'll go to here and I'm going to write that particular function, public track changes, and here I'm going to get the index. By default, it will get that index, and which is of type number, that what I can say. And here what I can do, I'm going to return the index here. That's it, nothing apart from that. That means based on that index, I'm tracking the data. You see now how that output is going to be. First time when I'm executing it, you can observe that the table will contain the table body, and body will contain what? You see 3 are available. Everyone is following me? Tell me, right? But this time you can see when user click on get updated, is it updated the previous records? Tell me. See that. Again, I'm refreshing once. Right now, this is the T body. Now we have 3 records are available already, which are rendered. Now, when I user click on get updated data, now you see only the 4th one is added. That means it is not rendering all the things. That means how it is able to track it. It able to track based on the index. Now tell me, if this is a case, definitely that will improve the performance or not. Tell me. Yes or no? That is the reason where, that is where, like, the real time. When I say about real time, something is important means you should practice it. Once if it is done, you should practice it. Definitely this will be used in our real time much more. Output is same. Bhargavi, output is same. It's all about, like, I ask you to see how it is rendered. Output is same. In both the cases, output same. But track by, if you can use, performance is good. Suppose, let's say, I have already 1000 records which are displayed. Again, if I'm getting one more 1000, then if I'm not using track by, then what happened? If I'm not using track by, then what happened? 2000, again, it is rendered. But if I'm using track by, whatever that updates are available, those are going to be only rendered over here. That is how it is. Okay. So with this, we complete all the structural directives. Still, we are in the directive only, but structural directives are done. And tomorrow's session, we will see how to work with behavioral directives. How to create, we have NG class and NG style. 2 are available. Tomorrow's session, we will see that both, and then I will explain you how do we work with custom directives. Okay, custom directives. So that's it, guys, for the day. I will post you everything. Just give me a minute, please. I'll go with, sir, you mean reduce the code by using, no. Bhargavi, you just run it so that you will understand. Run that example. That is where I ask you to follow me very closely. See, I'm not running for an output always. I'm always thinking about the security and how we are going to give a good performance. I have already uploaded that example, man. Gaurav Maske. I have already uploaded that example. Just I'm uploading everything at once. Maybe you can take whatever you require. Abhishek, just a minute. Karthik, I'll just check and update you on this. Okay, don't worry. I got that link in the morning, but I haven't joined. Maybe today I'll join and upload everything. Okay, don't worry. See, I always wanted to give you good content to the people who join. Don't worry. So unable to resolve the signature of the class decorator when it is called as an expression. Class decorator type of if demo component is not assignable to the parameter of type string. No, Sheikh, it was uploaded. Abhishek, we will see that. Just I need exactly an error, what it is causing. Okay. I just need you can take a snapshot tomorrow maybe and you can drop so that I can verify. Maximum count stack. More, I guess, 20 days minimum, Abhishek. 20 to 25 days are required for me to complete. Okay, that's it for the day. I have some hurry work to do. I'll leave. We'll see that tomorrow. Anything. This week I'm little bit busy. Sorry for that. I'm unable to give the reply immediately. But next week onwards, everything will set. Someone who are very close to me, those are in hospital. So that is only the reason. Okay. This week, this more 2 days. That is where I was on leave from last 2 days. Okay. Maybe today and tomorrow and after tomorrow also. Little bit busy, but next week I'll give some time for you to give more clarity. Okay. Thanks for understanding. Bye-bye.